People really don't know what their expenses will be because they don't know how long that they're going to live.
Americans are worried they won't have enough saved for retirement now more than ever.
Retirement is going to cost, for many folks, over $1 million.
Is no sure thing in investing, but a lot of people think that annuities may come close to that.
It's going to more safe things that they know. If they know they're going to need that money to supplement their retirement, well, then you can't play that risk.
This is the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr., founder and partner of Heischman Financial Services, serving the Columbus and surrounding areas. Jon specializes in educating pre-retirees and retirees about safe money strategies and ideas. Now, it's the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Here's Jon Heischman Sr.
Two aspects of retirement planning. Number one, plan and structure your financial portfolio for a secure and peaceful retirement. Number two, plan and structure your financial portfolio to be protected from catastrophic and unforeseen expenses. This is Jon Heischman, your host of the Safe Money and Retirement Show. Let's talk about this important part of retirement planning, because these 2 points are the foundation and essence of any sound retirement plan. There are many risks in retirement that need to be protected. And the last thing that I want to see happen is for you to take the first step in planning your retirement, making it secure, peaceful, and enough money to last you the rest of your retirement. And then lose it all because you failed to take the second step to protect yourself. So many will make right decisions, whether they do it on their own or get advice, but failed at the most critical part of it all, protecting. So if your assets are just sitting there without a coat of protection around them to shield them, you're vulnerable. Your assets are like sitting ducks waiting to be blown out of the water before you realize what happened. Think about your plan. Are you protected against the longevity risk, the excess withdrawal risk, market risk, inflation risk, medical expense, and tax risk? And of course, a couple weeks ago, I talked about the sequence of returns risk. But the big one that has drained many retirement accounts is the nursing home risk. According to the New England Journal of Medicine, of those people who recently turned 65 years of age, over 43% will enter a nursing home before they die. That is half of all retirees. And among those, more than half of those people, they're going to spend at least a year, and almost a quarter will spend at least 5 years in a nursing home. So I ask you, do you think it's valid for all of us to worry about nursing homes since nearly half of us will end up in one? I think so. And do you think, since the cost of nursing homes is rising at about 9% every year, that we should be concerned? One of the big reasons to be concerned about it is that life expectancies continue to increase each year. We're living longer, meaning there's a greater chance that we're going to spend more time in a nursing home. And in fact, instead of increasing the help for elderly desperately in need of these benefits, benefits are being cut back. The end result is that you pay the cost of long-term care. Medicare does not. Medicaid only pays if you have spent all of your assets to where you're in a poverty situation. And even with that, there is time restrictions in order to qualify for Medicaid. There are several reasons why individuals don't have long-term care, which will pay for nursing homes. As a matter of fact, only about 12% have protection for some type of nursing home care. It has become too expensive. You have to qualify for coverage as far as health when purchasing a long-term care policy. Those are two of the biggest reasons. Plus, if you don't use it, you don't get a refund of the premiums that you paid for that policy. And to be quite honest, these are the reasons that some of my clients don't have long-term care. However, most of them do because they were in a position to where they could afford it and qualify for it, and they were in that 12% category. But more so, we were able to work out a plan to protect their retirement assets from the risk of long-term care by using new strategies today where you don't have that premium as you would for a long-term care policy, and you don't have to qualify medically. And in some cases, the plans don't cover the estimated total cost of what a nursing home would be today, but maybe 50% or 75% of the cost, which will reduce taking as much money from retirement assets. Unfortunately, not enough retirees know or are aware of those options. So I feel I have an obligation to let as many retirees know as possible, and one of the best ways is to talk about it on my shows. If there was more time, I could go into detail, but I am available to go into detail, having a discussion with you on how you might put together a long-term care plan that eases or reduces the cost, and medical conditions are not a concern. When a plan is designed, put together, it's a plan customized for each individual. There is no cookie-cutter arrangement for everyone. That's why it's important for your own individual situation to be reviewed to see if there are options where you can get some type of long-term care coverage. So call me. We can have a discussion, discuss the options and what might work for you. 888-426-0177, 888-426-0177. Protecting yourself from this risk is right up there at the top of the list of retirement risk because of the cost. A retiree with a portfolio of $500,000 that's going to be generating retirement income can be wiped out in 5 to 6 years in order to cover long-term care cost. That's what we want to avoid, or at least see if there's a way that we can avoid that and have a plan in place. If you can't or don't want to buy a long-term care policy, or if you don't want to use your own assets that are earmarked for retirement, or let Medicaid pay after you have transferred all of your assets out of your estate 5 years prior, then take the time to find out more about the other options that are available. And let me give you my number again, because I want to help you to protect your assets by having that long-term care risk protected. 888-426-0177. 888-426-0177. After the break, I'm going to bring you some more good ideas that will help you with your retirement planning. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. For more information, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Or visit their website at HeischmanFS.com. More of the Safe Money and Retirement Show in a moment.
With healthcare costs expected to continue to increase faster than the inflation rate, the time to take a look at your future healthcare is now. Not in retirement, but if at all possible before retirement. If you've already retired, it still isn't too late. A lot of the cost can be controlled. We work out a plan how to cover the increased cost that we're all going to be faced with. And believe me, I think it's probably going to be the number one increasing cost that we're all going to see in retirement. You want to talk further? You can give me a call. 888-426-0177. 888-426-0177.
Life expectancy is at all-time highs, so that means you've got a future to plan for at any age. If you have longevity in your family tree, then you need financial education from someone with the experience and knowledge to guide you into and through your retirement years. Jon Heischman and the folks at Heischman Financial Services are committed to helping you achieve your retirement goals with a low-key and trustworthy approach. Call Heischman Financial Services today to get started on your retirement future. Call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Heischman Financial Services has your future in mind.
Welcome back to the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman. To contact Jon, the number to call is 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. Once again, here's Jon Heischman.
Welcome back to the second part of the Safe Money and Retirement Show. For this segment of the show, I want to address rolling over your 401k, TSP plan, 403b, and even pensions. In the past 2 weeks, we had 3 rollovers that we moved the funds to an individual retirement account. 2 were 401ks, 1 was a TSP. which made me think to discuss this on my show. Most 401k and other retirement plans possibly have limited investment options. They may offer 50 different mutual funds and other investment vehicles, but most of the options are subject to market fluctuations. And if we learned anything in 2008 and 2009, it was that quickly, with no warning, many plans lost as much as 40% in 2008 alone. Those individuals who chose to play it safe and moved those retirement accounts into bond funds or funds invested in CDs and other short-term investments, they were rewarded with little or no growth, while inflation, management fees ate away at their principal. When moving that retirement account to an IRA will offer the owner unlimited investment options. Some of these options can guarantee the principal, offer a competitive rate of return, and generate an income that cannot be outlived. The main thing that you need to remember in rolling over those accounts is to know your options. Where is that money going to go? It'll be based on your risk tolerance, whether you need income from that money, which most people do, as well as other considerations. We want to show all of the options that are available and what your neighbor or family member did with their 401k may not be the best option for you. It has to be individualized to meet your goals and objectives, among other things, as far as your retirement planning. I'll give you a good example. In going back to those 3 rollovers I was involved with, along with my son, over the past several weeks, one client had a very low risk tolerance, very conservative. 80% of that rollover money went into safe money, where there was no risk, average rate of return, and was going to be used for income. The other 20% was put in the market, which can be referred to as a brokerage account, assets under management. In any event, it went into risk, potential maximum growth, and different funds, stocks and bonds on a conservative basis. The other client was more risk adverse, where 60% went into risk accounts, 40% was placed in safe money, no risk. And the third, very risky, 100% went into risk accounts for maximum potential growth. And next week, I visit with a new client that doesn't want any risk. So 100% of that 401k is going into safe money. My point is, everyone's different. Risk tolerance is different. So you've got to know the options as to where your money can go. Is it a combination of different plans? How much income are you going to need? And does that income need to be guaranteed for the rest of your life? And these are all things that we must take into consideration in designing a plan and to make a recommendation as to where your rollover money is going to go. And you need to be very careful. Make sure you find out about all the options available. Heischman Financial Services has an advantage of being independent. We have to match the correct plan for you based on risk tolerance, what's in your best interest. If you're unsure or you want a second opinion, give us a call. It costs nothing and there's never an obligation. 888-426-0177. That number again is 888-426-0177. When I refer to we, I'm referring to my son and myself. We make up the practice under the name of Heischman Financial Services. He has his specialties and I have mine. But the majority of our clients are working with both of us, getting advice, money management, growth, and income. Find out more by going to HeischmanFS.com. That's spelled HeischmanFS.com. Another very important planning strategy is to address all of the accounts that the retiree has. Having too many retirement accounts, it's a high quality problem, and it's good that you've accumulated all those accounts over the years, but a problem nonetheless. When it's time to convert some of your savings into an income stream, several important considerations need to be taken into consideration. And the same applies to rollovers because there are retirees who have several 401ks that were never rolled over, or possibly a 401k and a 403b where nothing has been done with those accounts for several years. The more retirement accounts you have, the more complicated it could be to determine which account you should spend first and how to withdraw the money from those accounts. Determining how to calculate the required minimum distribution from multiple accounts can be very confusing. For example, you have an IRA, a 401k, and a 403b, three different types of qualified retirement plans that you're going to have to take at least the minimum, which is called required minimum distribution. If you don't take the correct amount, or if you miss taking that RMD from one of those accounts, you're going to have a problem with the IRS. Also, trying to figure out how much you need to take could be tricky. So you want the company or the advisor firm to automatically calculate that RMD each year because it's going to be different as far as the amount. When we simplify and combine accounts, it will make your retirement life much simpler. In most cases, it will fit your risk tolerance, where two accounts may be combined to generate lifetime income. The other account or accounts could be combined for income as well and used for maximum potential growth. So we want you to be very careful, because when you make a rollover decision, chances are you're going to have to live with that through retirement. We welcome the opportunity to share our ideas and helping you with the rollover, making the process simple and correct for you. 888-426-0177. Love to hear from you, your questions, your concerns. 888-426-0177. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate you listening to the Safe Money and Retirement Show. I'm your host, Jon Heischman. Be sure to join me next week at the same time, the same station, for more ideas and strategies for your retirement planning.
The Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr. To get in touch with Jon, call 1-888-426-0177. That's 1-888-426-0177. For more information about Heischman Financial Services, visit their website, HeischmanFS.com. That's HeischmanFS.com. Join us again next time for the Safe Money and Retirement Show with Jon Heischman Sr.